Recording. Yeah, recording started. Okay. All right. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, today is 18th of June, 2020.
Wow. That is fast. And many establishments are cleaning up their places for reopening tomorrow. I see McDonald's already laid out their tables in the opened
Hmm.
sitting area, but they of course put the tape to cordon it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. When is Father's Day, Casey?
Saturday,
On Saturday. Wow, in
20th,
time. In time,
20th
right?
June.
Wow, in time. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. Michael,
Yep.
can you remember when you were 49 years old?
Okay. Yep.
What do you do? And what are you still aggressive and stuff?
Okay. 49. Let me see. 54, 10 years ago. That means I'm still running my own agency.
Yeah,
What year is that? Hold on. Let me do some calculations. Uh,
2010.
2010. I started when? 2005. Oh, so that means 5 years into my business. That was a scary period for me, business wise. A lot of things, of course, I can talk about those kind of, I can talk about personal life, business life, individual family members' life, but let me take out just a slice of it, the business slice. So I started my business in about 2005. So we talk about 2010. 2010 was 5 years into my business. When I started the business, I told myself, 6 months into it, a year into it, I told myself that if I could do it for another few years, I can retire. It was that great. And 5 years into it, the client side has changed. All right. My side, I've changed also because I'm thinking of growing the company.
Right.
Okay. My client side was people change, people resign, people get fired, people get laid off, people get political, people leave,
Right.
and then they rehire for replacement, all right, to replace, and then these people don't know me, right?
Yeah.
So if I mean, you have the experience. If I go in there and say, "Oh, who the hell is this Michael?" Somebody will say, "Oh, Michael used to do this." That's all.
Yeah.
No credentials, nothing, and oh, he's another designer. He's another design house anyway. And people who comes in and fill in the position may already have their own agencies from previous job, right? So they take them with wherever they go. Correct. We are talking about. You're good, Casey.
I'm good. Sorry, I just replied something. Okay.
Yeah. The new hire would have their own list of agencies that they feel comfortable. We all do. Wherever we go, we move house, we would go back to the same hairdresser, we will go back to the same tailor. Some things are habitually fixed in our life. So 5 years into the business was challenging. Was challenging. On one hand, growing my business, hiring people, and upgrading and whatever I need to do. On the other hand, is like clients change, new
Yeah.
people coming. Yeah, so that is one impact on the business sides of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is something that I remember 10 years ago. All right. Yeah. um that is a tough thing in business. This is always that change. So imagine you're in my position going forward. If you were to continue to run your business, what will happen when people change? Your client, when I say people change, your client, move from one company to the next. How can you win a new client over for the same company that you service? And how do you continue to service the client who has left the company that you are providing? And then add another new company into your list. All right. Yeah. So there's no one formula to it, but my take was I try to I try to convert clients into friends. I think that is one very effective uh, way of sustaining clientels. You know, really convert a client into a friend, and the initial feeling was awkward. You know, because in the nine is like it's all projects driven. You know, I want to convert you into a friend because I want more projects. I want more projects. Is fighting against our conscience. You know, friends shouldn't be judged or built upon in that way. Uh, and I try to took me a while to let go of that feeling of, oh, I'm having lunch with my clients because he's my client, but on the surface I see him as a friend. All right. So even when we had lunch, the feeling, you can tell that the feeling is just odd. It's like there is what I call the third wall. Your client, me, and the third wall is in front of me, or the third person is blocking me. So I don't get to kind of really feel that, oh, this person I'm having lunch with is actually a friend.
Mm.
All right. But I guess it's natural. All right. But over time, it takes time to really make friend. All right. Let alone, oh, this is my best friend. So I managed to. I must say that I have made a lot of made a lot of friends from clients that I served. Yeah,
Mm.
people that I can consult with, people that I can, because they move, all right, and then who knows, one day that I might need this person's service, and then this client used to be someone that I serve now. th- This
Mm.
person will serve me in return, and as exchange, as a friendship or whatever, all right, because they moved, they could have moved to, let's say, a government agencies where I need some insights, and this person is there that I
Yeah.
used to serve, and they become, they are willing to help you. That is how I measure. This person I have successfully converted from a client to a friend. All right, that 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 action has to be deliberate. All right, yeah. If you
Yeah.
don't take an extra step forward, all right, if you don't reach out your hand first, then it will never happen. All right. Yeah,
Definitely.
it would never happen. Yeah. So that was the 10 years ago, 2019. If that's the date, or 2010. The experience that I have, that I was going through then. Yeah. Yeah. Fighting to sustain the business, and looking for strategy. And the strategy was to really convert clients to friends. Yeah. But it is very tiring. Um, Even though I have some designers working with me, they are not as self-propelled. They are not. They are there to make a salary. They are there to make a salary. They are there to make a salary. So it boils down to, if you ever opens your agency again and hire people, all right, it is not the money to keep them. No point. If
Mm.
this person, you say, oh, I pay this good designer, 20,000 a month, and if you have the money to pay them, man, the feeling is different from those who are really out there to serve. I rather have someone who shows the initiative of, I'm the employee, but I treat this company as mine, right? Then this person is worth having a share in the company, or pay rise, or increase his pay. All right, rather than paying a person $20,000 to keep the person, and the person is good, and continue to maintain that business, then it's not the kind of agencies that I want to run. It's the kind of agencies I want to run is people who are. It goes beyond just passionate about what they do. It's about the initiative of the ability to even to serve client as well. Treat the company as if the company is yours. I think that is a kind of employees or the work team that I want to build, but it's very difficult. Even though I say it's very difficult, it's not difficult. Um, I have to be brutal. All right, I hire 10 people come in for interview. I only want to pick one, so I pick whoever I feel is the best. Now this person, after probably give the person 3 months probation, right? 3 months. After 3 months not correct, just let them go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then continue the cycle until you find the right one. So it's not difficult, but it's the process is just long.
Yeah.
Right, correct. All right. If I want to speed up the process by 50%,
Right.
all right, then I hire the 5 out of 10 that I shortlist.
Yeah.
Then in that 3 months, I could filter out. Yeah, out of these five, I keep one and let the four go.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I think a successful company should have employees of such quality. Right.
Agree with that.
Right. Hmm.
Interesting sharing. Thank
Right. Mm.
you. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what were you doing 10 years ago? Or what was your experience 10 years ago?
10 years ago, I'm still flirting.
Okay. All right.
I'm not
Were
married
you,
yet.
were you single then or you were
I'm
married or?
single, Sally.
Oh, okay. Okay. So dating time lah. Okay.
But I'm still not stable until I got stable only when the year I got married.
Okay. All right.
When I see the beauty of relationship and stability and stuff like that.
Mm,
The reason why I wasn't stable because I'm afraid of commitments. I can't trust commitment. I can't trust myself.
mm,
Yeah,
mm.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
But having a family is a very different story. I enjoy it. And I thank God I enjoy it. So
Right. Right. Right.
it's blessed where you can have commitments. Yeah. Anyway, why do I ask? Because I'm turning 49 in 2 days.
Okay. All right. 49. So 50 lah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. What year is that? Your birth year?
71.
Ah. Okay. All right. 1971. Yeah. Yeah. The 1970s is actually one of my most memorable years. All right. Um, grown enough to feel for the things around me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Not grown enough to see the world yet. It's still young. All right. Yeah. So the 70s is a beautiful period. Why is that so? All right. So this morning, a friend texts me and says, "Hey, Michael, do you know today a lot of restaurants and cafes are opening up, but not to serve, to clean up and get ready for tomorrow." Then I reply the text and says, "Well, some 25 years ago, when I walked the North Point Mall, it's like walking the mall now during the lockdown. But I couldn't imagine when Friday comes, you know, I realize again we have 6 million people." The feeling is different. 25 years ago, when I walk into the mall, Casey, I don't have to look out for people walking into my face, especially busy hours, avoiding trains. I mean, avoiding people, rushing to train, rushing to buses, commuters everywhere, right? People are using, our shopping malls are now all the MRTs and bus congregate at one location. So, wow, I'm beginning to miss that peace and quiet, on the streets during the circuit breaker. Right? I really beginning to miss that. I enjoyed my 25 years ago when I went to the mall and I don't have to be concerned about people walking into my path. And now I have to be concerned of people walking into my path and I walk into people's path as well. It cuts both way. Yeah. So so that was kind of a flashback lah, So talking
Indeed,
about
indeed.
you in the
Yeah.
1970s, right? And I'm just talking about 25 years ago. Yours is like, many years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, right? So things have changed so much, in this tiny country. Yeah, correct. Right. So, what about business then? How was your have you started business in the no, not in the 70s. We are talking about 10 years ago,
And
right?
years.
How was
Yeah, yeah.
where were you then? Where do you operate from?
10 years ago, I'm already a freelancer.
Right.
I just finished. Uh, yeah, 10 years ago. Yeah, freelancers. I'm back to freelance.
You are done with your higher studies, right? Your bachelor's degree.
No, 10 years ago, of course.
Okay, you're
Just
done. Okay.
finished
All right.
my bachelor 20 over years ago.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right.
Uh,
But
10, 10 years 10 years ago, I'm working, and uh, the market is still quite bad. Freelance job is really sucks.
was it the recession period about 10 years ago? It looks
Yeah,
like it, huh? Yeah.
really.
10 years ago,
We always had
uh,
session for the last 20 years, Michael.
one photo for, but 10 years ago was Clinton, right? The president.
I can't remember. I don't
Either
give a shit.
Clinton or Obama did 2 terms. Trump is, his term is ending. So maybe it's Obama. First year Obama, yeah. Yeah, okay. All right. But before that was good. Clinton's time was quite okay, the economy. Yeah, correct.
Hey, I
Right.
want to ask you, can you recommend a font for a book cover?
For what is that book? Same the book that you told me.
Slowly, slowly catch the chicken. Catch the monkey. If let's say I
Ah,
use a font,
you
what font?
see, okay, okay, all right, okay, okay. Selecting not so much on exactly what font to recommend, but what type of characters or fonts or personality of the fonts. Okay. Um, see the title itself. Slowly, slowly catch the monkey. All right. It's like uh, a slang. It's like a non a non-proper English. All right. Um, I would use uh, a handwritten font, a handwritten type of font.
Really?
I don't even want to use. I would okay. In short, I would write it out myself in my own handwriting.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Number one is it makes the project a bit more personal.
Right.
So every time you work on that project, you say, "This is my project." Even though the content may come from anywhere, but you are the music conductor. You are pulling every pieces into the music hall. All right, you are giving it a signature. Forget
I'm not
about
sure about handwriting though. But
yeah.
okay.
Use your handwriting, or use your daughter's handwriting. Whatever that looks a bit more meaningful, more personal. Right. I would use a handwritten font. Whether you write it or you download it from someone, it doesn't matter. I think a handwritten font would makes a lot of sense. Right. Yeah. Um, it is also important to know who are your audience that you are targeting this book to. Then that makes design a bit more meaningful rather than oh, for everyone who wants to read, oh, for everyone who's out to download. Of
Right, right.
course I know that. Okay. Right. then there's no need to ask this question, what fonts to use, right? That's for anyone. Doesn't matter then. Any fonts out there will work, right? Yeah, yeah. So I think it's important is to still go through your basics of how you takes a brief, and knowing your audience, what do you want to say, why should they part the money to buy this book? That's important as well, right? Yeah. What do they do after reading? What can they do
Yeah.
after reading? Yeah. What can you do after they bought it? Yeah, those things, right? Yeah, correct. Yeah. Those are important. Those are the invisibles. People publish a book and say, okay, now sit back and collect the money. Yeah, I mean, of course, I mean, that is a standard model, right? Everybody goes through that. Yeah. But if you can take this one level higher, why not, right? Yeah, correct. Yeah. Somebody, you might write to that person, thank you for, I mean, every individual who bought your book will receive an email from you, something like that. Wow. I mean, it's just a thought, it's just a thought, right? Correct. Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's an interesting book that you are writing there. All right. We did touch a bit about just my opinion, how the 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 subject matter, how serious, how dry, or how fun it is. I think I was telling you not to use MBA words. Like if I see a word like, oh, this helps you improve your market share, then I won't be touching that book at all, right? Yeah. If you are telling me about marketing, just like I taught you marketing from the monk's perspective. Isn't it interesting? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rather than, oh, let's go out there and engage McKinsey to do a marketing survey, all right, for $3 million. And our data shows that 80% of the public will prefer to have a red cover book as
Mm.
opposed to a black cover book. Fuck that, fuck that, right? Yeah. So forget it. Yeah, I know too much in that business world. Is the intent is evil. That's all. The intent is it. The intent of a book is more important than the book itself. Yeah, I think the intent of your book is more
Yeah,
important
yeah,
than
I
the book
hear
itself.
you. I hear you. I
Right.
will put
Yeah.
I would put the word very big on the cover there, strategy, just because I don't want you to touch it.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. Correct. Correct. No, just put in small bracket, not for Mike Chen. Hey, that would be interesting. And people is wondering, hi, why is this line made it to the cover of this book? What do you mean not?
And
No,
I will,
it evokes
Michael.
a curiosity. Cause it's true.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like, yeah, what is this?
Michael. I tell you what. What I will do. Okay, I'll say, why don't you pay me $5,000? I put your name there. Hello, Mike Chen, and people. Then I'll bracket there. He paid $5,000 just for his name on the cover.
Advertising, advertising. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
There's this guy that I just I one of the greatest speech one of the greatest I think there's the greatest speech in TED Talks.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, the title is something like that. And this guy is very, very awesome. So what he did is that he got invited to do a TED Talk. Of
Right.
course, he got some stuff lah.
Yeah.
And what he did is he advertised his talk, and he
Okay.
said that, who want to sponsor my title?
Right.
And
Right.
TED Talk has never done that before.
Right.
TED Talk wouldn't allow that.
Okay.
And
Mm-hmm.
he actually
Yeah.
did. Someone paid $7,100, I think, $7,200 to put a sponsors on his TED Talks.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, and he gave the TED Talks was so amazing and going through and stuff. Apparently, he has asked permission, and the money that given to the sponsors to the TED was given to TED charity.
Okay, I understand. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
it's actually quite interesting. Nobody dared to do it, but he said that yeah, why not? This is my first TED Talk, and
But
he's
they are like you see, just
yeah,
that he that they are. That's just as is. He he managed it differently.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably. Yeah.
Um, this is what you call, I mean, in advertising or marketing, you call endorsement.
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody endorse. Take for example, if you go to you follow Casey Neistat, right? Let's say, uh, he would do something like that. Oh, this flash drive, is sent to me by Scandis, and I'm not here to endorse it. I just want to let you know. It's the same thing. It's all is yeah. But I mean, coming back to your book, avoid any. I mean, this is my personal take, Casey. Um, it, Anything that's MBA, then forget it.
Of course, of course.
Anything that deal with the I don't know. I won't say the real story that you've gone through, even yourself. All right, you may have a few stories. These are case studies. You're using a case studies that we can learn from. Oh, so case study of a monk, case study of whatever experience you have, maybe in an airplane, on your way to to work or what, that becomes like, yeah. So using case studies, in real life, and then I can relate. I can, wow, But don't forget, this monk thing is very Asian thing. So so people must have some context, of what. Well, when you say a monk to Ang Mo is a different kind of monk, When you say a monk to a Thai is a different kind of monk, So anyway, yeah. So that'll be interesting. Do you foresee there will be illustrations in or photographs in your images in your book, or it's just a very thin book, a
Mm.
few pages, case study? Yeah. Okay. All
Maybe
right.
10,000 words. That's all.
Yeah, yeah. I think keep it short. Keep it to like the story that we were talking about.
Yeah.
Maybe 5 pages of A4. You
I,
know.
I had I had written the story. I have dramatized the story,
Mm-hmm.
like adding a background, the smell of the place, the crowd is getting crowded, the nights falls, the night market got brighter, because of the night lights.
Right.
Yeah, something like that. So this is how you write a story. You
Right.
add you add in
Some
flavors and
spice. Speaking of that, images just keeps coming into my head now. I would imagine taking the five A4 of nothing but text,
mm,
let's say 12 point times that fills up the whole story, okay? Taking that and lay it out into a simple book, all
mm,
right? Just print on normal A4 paper, okay? And then at some point where it is important, it's a purely use of nice typography. You bold that line.
mm,
Let's say it's a 12 point times you use comfortable leading. Then where there is an important liner, right? Okay. You make it into like dramatize it to like a 32 point bold, you know?
right.
Right. If it's all black, then it's all black, right? If it's colored, then you can use a two color printing, black plus,
Yeah.
I don't know, the monk or whatever the color you use, right? Yeah. So even though you don't have images, the font make it a bit more in visually, it looks different. You see, font is actually a graphic element. All right. Yeah. So you read and then wow, big fonts, a quote or what, what the monk says, so and then when you have a lot of text, then now you can abandon, you can put the typography treatment away. All right. At certain point, you may not have a big picture, but in between the line, oh, now this monk introduced the casing. So you can just have a small round with the picture of the casing, can be hand drawn. Okay, next to the line, okay, the casing ends, right? An icon or image there, and then you continue to read, and not, oh, a picture of a. So I have to kind of take my eyes off that line and look at the picture and say, oh, this is the casing. But I can read as if we use icons when we text, and we continue to read, right? Oh, I went to North Point to eat a bowl of noodle. The noodle becomes like a picture of a noodle, an icon noodle. And I continue to read from there. It's quite interesting, making it a bit more relevant to today's technology, Right. Don't have to be a big picture. If you're using a 12 point text to read, probably that pendant could be like, you know, 1 cm by 1 cm, very small but visible. Can be quite interesting. Yeah, correct. Yeah, I mean, all kinds of layout out there, lah, depending on your creative way. Yeah, making, I think making reading interesting. It's not about designing it nice. Forget it. Making your layout, the reading a bit more interesting. Yeah, rather than, oh, it's another brochure treatment, it's another corporate annual report treatment.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean, yeah, I've seen enough of those. Yeah, yeah, that's why all this award-winning thing is nothing. It's nothing but same old shit, but in different color only. That's all. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
in fact, you're right. I look at the latest print award,
Right.
the print, the magazine print.
Oh my gosh, are they still around?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
dear,
It sucks. Yeah.
it's
There's, you
pathetic.
don't you don't get excited anymore. Like
Mm.
those were the days where you're so looking forward for every year to get inspired.
Yeah, every copy of print. I subscribe to print.
I know.
I subscribe to how. Uh, these are the books for students to start with. The how and the print. Every year or every month they send the print and the how. Uh, it was so precious. I kept every copy very neat. Wow, the edges are still sharp and
You
pointy.
still have them? No more, right?
No, I threw out so many. I threw out all. If there's a one magazine for inspiration that I would reference would be the Wired magazine. Wired has
Yeah, yeah. I
always
know.
been, since the day I know until today. If there's one magazine I pick up from a magazine stand, it would be the Wired magazine, right? It's a very interesting, intriguing, engaging layout, right?
Right.
Yeah, correct. They break the rules of typography. That
Right,
is
but
interesting.
those were the days when they broke the rules. But after Wired, everybody copy Wired like shit. It's
Oh, but
everything
they
looks
could
like
get
Wired.
close to what okay, KC, interesting. You might pick up a Wired, all right?
Mm.
You look at the layout, see it's interesting. I want to use this on my client's next project.
Right.
You know that it doesn't come out right, even you copy it exactly 100%. I can tell you that, right? Why? Why? Yeah, because the content just won't fit into the kind of design, you see,
Yeah. No,
right?
it's also quite
Yeah,
branded that the look and feel is very Wired too. Yeah.
yeah. Every once you pick up, you rip off the cover, you flip to any page, you know it's Wired. Isn't it amazing? Right?
Yeah.
Right. If you go into any other publishing magazine out there that is interior design, from one
Mm.
to the next one, they all look the same. Home decor to, don't know, square or ID design. They all look, other than the size of the magazine, that would be a giveaway. But inside is all the same, 2 column, 3 column, da. Wired is using a very complex column system, very complex. Right. Of course, they have a few lah. Right. Yeah. So that's why it's consistently beautiful. That's what I'm saying, and it's very different every issue. Right. Some column becomes like 2 cm to 3 cm. Some column from 3 cm to 5 cm. Some column is just one column. But they spend so much money on the grid design, the grid, the invisible lines. Yeah, correct. It's not just going this way, the grids this way as well. So it is a very interesting design system that they have put in, very robust as well, very robust as well. Of course, they use a publishing system. All right, yeah. So that makes them able to put out very thick magazine. Their magazine is always very full, 100 pages or something. Yeah.
So, Michael, I will wait for you to tell me when you are going out, and let's have a coffee soon, okay? Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I want to
tomorrow
go
is
and get a recorder. Probably I go and take a look.
you are
Uh,
looking for the Zoom N1.
yeah, I'm on. Yeah.
Uh, you
And
okay? Before you go out, maybe this is what we can do. You can call City Music. All right. In Peace Center. Ask them if they're open on what day, whether they have this in stock. All right. Yeah, then we'll visit there lah. I mean that place is still very charming. It's still very old, you know.
Yeah.
Give it another few days. It's a different building altogether. So, yeah. So why don't you for you to do is to find out, and then you pick a day. Then I will try to see whether I can fit on that day, and at least you know it's there. If I don't come with you, you know you can go and pick it up because they have the stock. You know, right?
Then we'll
Correct.
do
Yeah.
that. We'll do that. Yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
All right.
Then we'll meet soon. Okay.
Yeah.
Take care lah.
Okay,
Okay.
Kat. Okay, see. Take
Bye.
care. Hey, good luck to your book.
Thank you.